Sheldon, you don't plan for the kind of deletions you've had the last few days, but do you look at it kind of as a trial run for, were this to happen later in the season, especially against a really good team like Tampa Bay?
Yeah, we talk about it, that as a coach, you get different things you'd like to try or different things you'd like to see. Sometimes that's different line combinations and different roles, guys playing on a power play and penalty kill that maybe otherwise wouldn't, or certainly not as prominent. And then there's the other part of it, when you look at guys like Rubens and Steves, these guys get opportunities, right? They're watching the game back and you're seeing good positive things that those guys are doing, and you start to think that these guys could help us, and just further confirmation that the work that's being done now with the Marlies is very good and very productive and very important for us. So those kind of things really, you come out of it. You look at Joe Wall's situation, guy that was really working to find himself at the AHL level and is because of circumstances put in the NHL level, and has done a very good job with it. And I'm sure that helps his confidence, but it certainly helps our confidence in him. So all these kind of things come out of it, and I think ultimately makes you a better team and better organization. That's what adversity does if you deal with it the right way, and thus far we have. But every day is a new day, and we're going to have to, stay with that here tonight against a very good team.
How encouraging is it that it's almost like an next tier of depth? You've lost Brooks, you lost Amadio, you lost Signanov. You've got Steve's been there. I know it's one game under Coach Sheldon, but you have the confidence to put it in, does his job. And, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, he's not even part of that thinking.
Yeah, certainly. It's a very important thing, that you mentioned that we lose guys that we were counting on, to a degree, and Brooks and Amadio and these guys that were going to be our depth guys to fill in these situations. But it, again, speaks to how important the Marlies are to our operation, and then take it further to our scouting staff that finds players such as Steve's that are able to come in and as a first-year pro, fresh out of college, and guy that missed camp that can step in and play an NHL game and do a good job and do a good enough job that he's going to get a second game in here tonight against a very good team. And then a guy like Rubens that comes in as a AHL free agent, out of junior, and works his way through the process. So these are all very good things, very important things. Again, given my time in the American League and in the minors, I find I tend to go with the side of confidence in these guys, and I've seen a lot of players that have, whether it's within our organization with the Marlies that went up and did a good job for the Leafs, or just around the American League. I mean, you can play against a guy on a Friday night that sometimes you play against him and you think that guy's wasn't very good. He was kind of average, and then he gets called up. You watch him on TV in the NHL the next day, and you're like, wow, this guy's really good. Those kind of things give me confidence that guys can come up and play and help you in the short term. I think it's easy. It's a lot easier for guys to come in and they give themselves and the team a boost when they first come up. That's part of playing in the NHL, but being an NHL player is a whole different story, and then you got to do it over the long term. That's the real challenge for a lot of young prospects, and that's the next step for these guys that have come up and gotten a taste.
When that decision happens and you guys decide on Steve's, how much consideration was given to Josh Hope signing him to an NHL deal, giving him a try?
Yeah, those kind of discussions don't really come my way. I think there's a lot of different elements at play. It's specific to Ho-Sang. Obviously, he's on an AHL contract, I believe, and I know that Steve's is a guy that the organization was very high on right from signing him, first of all, but then his offseason, the early indications in development and rookie tournament, development camp and rookie tournament, and then the start he got off to when he started playing. So that's all part of it. But in terms of other players or other considerations, it's not really conversations that I'm a part of. It's more you're kind of told this is, we need a guy, this is the guy, up he comes.
How close are Mikheyev and Mrazek?
It seems close. Mrazek, the challenge has been we haven't really practiced. So workload was the biggest thing we're trying to work up just to be certain that he's ready to play an NHL game. And, we've had We haven't practiced since he's been back here. We did 2 morning skates. Today, I don't know if you guys were in the building here yet, but he had a full session before the morning skate even began. He had a full session out there with some of our shooters and goalie coaches. So trying to work him up to that, just to make sure he's getting the proper workload, and we'll have a practice tomorrow. So I help with that. And Mikheyev is looking better and better. Mikheyev has an appointment today that I think is going to. I'm sorry?
2 months today for a minute.
Yeah, okay. So I think there's an appointment today that I think will help set the course about what the next step is for him.
Do you have any theories on why Austin hasn't drawn more penalties this year? And it's
Not just with Austin, but with some of our other guys. I've thought a lot about this because in my time here, I think we've gone through a lot of stretches where it's been difficult to draw penalties. And the thing that I'm drawn to a lot, and I think it happens with some or a lot of the elite players in the league, I think, is they're so good that they skate through a lot of crap. You know, like there's a lot of players that you can get a stick on them, or you get a body on them and they fall off a stride, or they lose the puck, or they fall down. There's a lot of our players, and Austin certainly is one, that they just skate right through all that stuff, and it's not really obstruction to them. So I think that is part of it, that they just skate through a lot of trouble, a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of it that gets in their way. But I think the elite players, those things disrupt them less, so it doesn't get the attention of the officials as much as it would others that just don't have the ability to sustain their play through that. That's what I've gone to, but I haven't spent enough time on it to look at specific plays. But I do know that it's hard to disrupt those players. Mitch Marner is, guys, even though he's not as big, he's very similar. He just skates through a lot of that. John Tavares is just a bull, goes through a lot of different things. Willie, same kind of thing. So I think that you look across the league at a lot of the elite players, they skate through a lot of stuff that other players are going to fall down and lose the puck.
Sheldon, after Tuesday's win, you said there wasn't a lot that you liked about that game. So what do you want to see cleaned up tonight, and are you going with the same lineup?
Same lineup, yes. Just our details of our game. And, I think we look at our last game, we get a power play, we score right away. We get a great goal by Matthews off the rush. We get a good goal from Richie. That's a good sequence goal. We win the puck back and we strike at the net. Another power play goal and then a rush play by Austin. So we get 5 goals that, to me, are like very individual plays, or very one-off type plays. Like call them quick strikes. Like there's an opportunity there, we strike, it's in, and then. So you start to feel really good about your game as a result. But we look at a lot of other things in terms of how we're controlling the play, how we're defending the neutral zone, how we're defending our blue line, how we're defending our net, and those kind of things. When we were at our best, we were really excelling in those areas, and it hasn't been there for us in the last few games. And that takes a lot of effort. Effort maybe is not the right word, because I think our guys are really trying. I guess it's energy is what I would say. And that's why I said the other night I felt we're a really tired team. That's why we decided to give the guys a recovery day yesterday to stay away and take what they need to get prepared to play here tonight. And we've played a tough schedule, probably as tough as anybody in the league, certainly in terms of the volume of games. But you look at how things have gone for us over the last couple of weeks, from the return to California to one off at home and then head back out to change time zones and play 2 very difficult games in difficult buildings in Minnesota and Winnipeg, come home late. All these kind of things, it takes a toll. How we played up and through November, we were so consistent. That takes a toll. I mean, our guys put a lot into it. So I just feel like we were breaking down a little bit. Maybe it's no coincidence that we've lost some guys to injury through this. But so that's what I was saying. We just have to really get more dialed in on our process and how we want to play, and the focus on our details and our game, regardless of what's happening on the scoreboard.
Is there a timeline on Travis's injury?
Not necessarily, no. I guess it's not major. He's been skating. I'm not certain if he skated this morning actually, but I know he did. Okay, so yeah, so he skated yesterday. Sorry? Okay, yeah, so he skated yesterday as well, so he's close. I don't think he's not shooting or anything like that, so that's the next step for him, but I don't, he's probably the closest of anyone, if that helps.